Over 10 hours later, and I still have things to do in this demo. This game is about the horrors of war, racism, class, politics, and corruption. Metaphor ReFantazio doesn't shy away from complex themes and is packed with
It's gonna be just like an epic adventure.
Welcome to my kingdom. I'm Brandon Kong. Today we're diving into Metaphor ReFantazio. This demo is massive, and if you're even remotely interested in the game, just stop the video, go download it. You won't regret it. In this video, we'll go over the gameplay, story, and my personal thoughts. Do you think this game will live up to the Persona legacy? Why don't we find out together? I doubt it's really gonna surprise you, but this game is dripping with style. It's like a Renaissance painting come to life. Visuals here borrow from a rich tapestry of religion, mythologies, philosophical concepts, but you can see the clear tilt toward Jungian psychology. When the demo starts, it's pretty handholdy. It's easing you into the mechanics. Don't expect any real challenge until about 4 hours in. I played on normal, but I imagine if you're a hardcore RPG player, you're gonna want to play on hard. The combat is very reminiscent of SMT. You eventually gain control of your whole party. There are two types of battles. There's field battles and squad battles. Weaker, smaller enemies can easily be defeated in the field, so you can use your X attack to deal damage to the field enemies and then acquire experience that way. Each weapon type has a different attack. The staff will do an AoE. A greatsword takes longer to go. The short sword is a kind of standard auto combo. So you can defeat these enemies in the overworld, but tougher foes, you'll need to engage in a squad battle to finish them off. If you deal damage to them in the field battle, then you start a squad battle, you'll have dealt damage to the entire party, and they're stunned for a round, which consumes one of their turns. There's a significant synergy between weakening enemies in the field and bringing that advantage into the squad battle. But the other part of this is if you get caught off guard and they actually attack you before you attack them, they get a first strike coming into the battle, and that can be very devastating. It's wiped my party. Once you're in an actual squad battle though, it's classic SMT shenanigans. You can use your melee weapons, special or magic abilities, and later on you actually unlock synergy attacks.
You've unlocked synthesis skills, that's cool.
The job class system in this game is unique and different from the other games. I think it's really interesting how the skills are tied to both the archetype and the social links. It's a refreshing take on familiar mechanics. With archetypes like healer, mage, and warrior, you'll rank up as you progress, unlocking different skills for that archetype. But then you need social links to progress the archetype and unlock new ones.
Reduced match cost slightly in the mage lineage. Sick.
So right about now, you're probably wondering, well, what about the story? I got a confession here. I kind of skipped all the cutscenes. But here's what I've gathered. You have some blue-haired yes-man protagonist.
I wonder if this affects your character at all. I asked what your skills are.
Foot fairy.
Okay.
Dude bro.
What earthly force could drag me to enlist in the Royal Army?
Old mage guy. Later on, you meet Night Mommy. In the plot, so... well, it seems like you're trying to stop some guy from usurping the throne after he already killed the king, and he somehow has also killed your buddy, or locked your buddy up. And then I think there's a necromancer you want to kill, and you can ride a sword?
She gon' talk to us now, she gon' talk to us now.
Did he skip the cutscenes? No, I didn't skip the cutscenes, I'm just kidding. The anime style cutscenes are actually like a real treat. The story feels like It's headed towards something really deep and potentially tragic. The themes of diversity tearing people apart rather than bringing them together are woven throughout the story. I sense it'll be a human story at its core. You've got classic elements of war, politics, corruption, and it all ties back to the death of the king and an election for a new ruler. Because it's got this, like, fantasy vibe, but it's also sci-fi, and I don't even want to call it sci-fi. It's like SMT, you know? It can feel jarring at times because the main character kind of like doesn't have a clue what's going on, and you're just dropped into the middle of this because I think like the player character is becoming the character in the thing. So you're just as confused as the main character, so it's supposed to be related, but it's just like jarring. The protagonist slowly catches up with the stakes of what's happening, but to be honest, it's kind of a minor gripe in the grand scheme of things. I really can't think of a better way to spend 10 plus hours of entertainment for free. The music and visual style are clear winners here, and if you've ever enjoyed Persona or an SMT game, this is a no-brainer. From the set-piece areas reminiscent of Persona 5's palaces to the dungeons that feel like Persona 3's Tartarus, this is a kit bash of familiar formulas in the best way possible. My only real complaint is with the pacing and dialogue. Early on, it feels like you're stutter stepping. It's constantly interrupting you with cutscene conversations that I feel like don't add much. Eventually, the demo does open up and you get some freedom. This is another minor issue that is more like in my gameplay style, so more about me as a player rather than the game itself. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me while we explored Metaphor ReFantazio. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out, it means a lot to me. And if you didn't know, we also make games here. Check out my digital card game, Hyper Fighter 2. It's currently in open alpha, and you can get the link in the description. Take care of yourself, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one.